Welcome to the Spiritual and Cosmic Podcast of Lady D, the podcast where the mystical meets every day. I'm your host, Lady D, psychic, medium, astrologer, spiritual guide, and cosmic truth teller. Each week we'll dive into real talk about living in a spiritual life in a human world. The good, the bad, the beautiful, the messy, and in between. From psychic insights, astrology breakdowns, to soulful chats and cosmic truths. This is your sacred space to awaken, expand, and keep it 100% real. So grab your crystals, open your heart, and let's get spiritual and cosmic. Welcome back to Spiritual and Cosmic Lady D. I'm Lady D, psychic, medium, astrologer, and your host, where we dive into spirituality, astrology, true crime, psychic development, and topics that are shaping our world. Today's episode is a little bit different as we're talking about AI. AI has completely changed the way many of us work. It can write social media posts, design logos, create flyers, edit videos, answer emails, and even generate artwork in seconds. But as I scroll through social media, I can't help but noticing something. Everything is starting to look the same. The flyers look the same, the graphics look the same, even the wording, the captions are becoming almost identical. So today I ask, are we using AI to enhance our creativity, or are we slowly replacing it? So let's dive in. So for starters, let's see, put a hands up who's using AI. I know I am. So I do use it for my business. I use it for my work. I use it to help me write emails, to help me write certain notes, or to brainstorm. I also help it to write me posts and even my descriptions on YouTube, in getting the tags and getting the hashtags. And to, it's hard when you're trying to word things but you can't find the right words. And so you use AI. I also use it for artwork, sort of photos, and I don't really use it for flyers, I must say, but I do use it to create images, and I have used it to create sort of video as well. But just about everybody is using it, and they're talking about it, and it is, I will say, it is definitely a great tool. Some people will also use it to brainstorm things as well. I think it's safe to say we use it everyday life, like even like researching, because it's just made things so much easier. But when we get into the creative side of creating artwork, like flyers and posters and things like that, it's, as I said in the beginning, things are starting to look the same, especially in this spiritual community. Although you can see what's number one, you can tell what's AI and what's not. It seems like the AI, no matter what you use, have a certain template that it's been programmed to use, and then it puts things like in its template. So you could be using it for a counseling service, and then you have a psychics, and it's going to have the same format. So things start to look the same. And I find that when I'm scrolling through, I'm not reading it because it's not standing out. I find also, unless you tell it to use bright colors, it may use colors that are not bright. And like I have done some, I've done a Cert 2 and Cert 3 in graphic design. Also at school, used to also design flyers at school, and I like designing things. I am I am creative, and I do like to design certain things. Also, I find with the pictures is that I find it accentuates certain features that you have. Like if your eyebrows are a prominent feature that you have, I find that it will enhance that. And sometimes they may not be in a good way. Like you might have well groomed eyebrows because for a reason it's standing out, or AI recognizes that as a certain feature in your face and it emphasizes it. It can make you look like have like Oscar the Grouch. It's like bushy eyebrows. I have seen that. Or where it has used your features but then doesn't look like you anymore. It looks and it makes you, I mean, you can say, and I've been guilty. I said make me look a little bit slimmer, but I usually use it when I'm doing illustrations. I'll say that. Because I feel like when you're using it to do like ask it to make an illustration of yourself, I feel like it comes up nicer, and it doesn't matter if it doesn't look like you exactly because it's an illustration and it's more fun than when it's is like you. I mean, I must admit, I will use my raw photo for my YouTube thumbnails, Because I'm like, okay, it's YouTube, I'll put it there. But if I'm looking at my social media where it's going to be seen as these people scroll down, I like to use more illustrated pictures of myself when I use AI. There was one person I saw and it made them look really slim, and but their face was still, it was still like you could tell their face, but the body was slimmer, so it looked out of proportion. And even like some of the angle, it made it look like that they were like a little person. So I feel like these things is something that we have to take notice of. It's all about the detail. And when you're advertising your business or you're creating a post, you want to look engaging. You want it to also to people, like typography. You want it to attract the eye as well. I also find that it puts a lot of information on, even like pictures. It can put a lot of information on the artwork or on the picture, and some of it you don't need. So I feel like it's important to sort of like, for me, I pull back. So when I'm just saying what I want out of it, I will often say, like, I just need this to be XYZ. Don't put text or just put this up. And I go from that. Sometimes I'll add, like, make it similar to this. I have another AI actually imaging software that I use sometimes, and I'll go chat. If I'm not getting exactly what I want, I'll then put it into chat and be like, I want it in this format, but I want it to be like XYZ. And that's how I do. Or when I think of pictures for my post to do with the new moon or the full moon or an astrology transit, I think of a fun way. So I always do pictures that are a little bit different, unique, but I want to get across how that new moon or that transit's going to be. So that's how I do it. When I'm doing flyers, I'm a bit old school. I like my Adobe InDesign, and I still use that. I use Canva a little bit as well, but I'm not a fan of Canva. I like my Adobe because that's what I know I've been trained in. Um, but for flyers and artwork, I will still use that. But I see so many using it for flyers, and it just looks the same. And I find that that's using pictures that are pastel to the color, not pictures, yeah, pictures, not pictures, sorry, the color. It's like pastel colors, and they're not eye catching. And some of it too, it's like the way it places the pictures. It's not like, a flyer needs to tell a story, and it needs to be engaging, and it needs to catch your eye. And this is a quick lesson. If you think back, this is a very good thing. If you think back World War II, America, they had Uncle Sam, and they had that picture pointing at you saying, Uncle, I think it was like, Uncle Sam needs you, or something like that. Now, the way that the picture was created and it had the pointing was eye catching. It drew you in so that you could then read what the flyer was about. So when you're advertising something, you need something that's going to catch the eye, but then lead the eye to the text. So it could be like a hand pointing, it could be just a line of what an a line sort of at an angle of a picture, but it will draw the eye to where you want it to go to read the topic. And that's something that I find AI doesn't really know a lot. As I said, it's like it's got templates, and it's just putting everything in the templates. And I mean, yeah, look, but it's a lot of a time poor these days. I've got to do a flyer for our next psychic development cruise, and it's on my list. I have to do it this week. And we all got busy lives, and I agree. AI, it does solve a lot of our problems when you're wanting something quick. Last week, I needed a quick picture, and I did it, and I got it up there and posted it. But when it's really important to sell a workshop or to sell, if you're doing a show, it's just as nice coming, being creative and doing the flyer yourself. You've got more control over how it's going to be. Or even if you try and attempt to do it and then put it in the chat to sort of, and then say what you want improved, I think that would be a more positive aspect. Like, because it's the way things are going, it's like it's doing so much. And yeah, it is taking away our creativity, but you can still be creative with it. And I think it's important to be creative, work with AI. But at the same time, when I think about people's jobs, it is going to take a lot of people's jobs. But I really think it's important to just think what you're trying to create and have that sort of picture in your mind. and then try and do it yourself. Even if you use Canva, try and do it. And if you don't like the way it's turning out, or then you just need it to be improved, then put it into chat. I think that way it will look different, because the flyers that or the artwork that stands out are the ones that are different. That's not going to look like the AI template, because it's going to come to a point. Well, I know from, as I said, from me in the beginning, I keep on scrolling because I don't notice it. But do you notice it? What does it catch your eye? And I think that people are using AI maybe sometimes a bit too much, and sometimes even myself. Um, but I think it's important to use your brain, and to make it a human touch, and to just have those details on, because also too sometimes it changes the logo. So if you're doing an event at a club or at somewhere and you want to put that logo on it, sometimes if you use AI chat GPT and you put it in, it won't keep the logo the same, and that's something that's a problem too. Sometimes it changes things you didn't ask it to change, or even sometimes with pictures, it will misspell the word or add extra hand. I don't know if you've tried it with some of the AI generators, picture generators. You'll put what you want in, and next minute it's added a third arm somewhere, or a third leg, or it's got 10 fingers. Those things you got to look. You do have to proofread it and actually look. That's happened to me a lot, using the AI. But I feel like if you use all the tools that you have, put some time aside, be creative, it can be a really good tool. But don't just take it for granted and let it do it for you, because I just really feel like advertising, advertising, it's 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 a funny thing. Um, and if you want to be noticed, you've got to be different and you've got to be creative. So that's my little rant for today. Um, what about you? What do you use AI for? Are you being a little bit lazy with your flyers or artwork or whatever it is that you're trying to create? And are you overusing it? Is there such a thing as overusing it? So let's see. Let's start the discussion. So thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think AI is making business more creative, or do you feel like everything is beginning to look around the same? Or do you think that it's changing the way people are even looking? You know, no more do we need Photoshop when you've got ChatGPT. Have you embraced AI, or are you trying to keep more of the human touch to your work? Let me know your thoughts on my social media and leave a comment when you're listening. If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who loves talking about technology, creativity, and the future of business. You can also connect with me via for an astrology reading or psychic mediumship reading, my workshops or upcoming events. To look on my website for all the details. Until next time, keep following your intuition, stay curious, and remember, technology may help us create, but it's our unique spirit that enhances an authenticity and make our artwork truly unforgettable. Take care, and I'll see you for the next episode.